have that instinct automatically? Because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Attack the boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. Damn, man, we had like 10 people waiting just to come in. Yeah, no, we're gonna still chop it up until people start coming in, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man, I lived in the Yay, man, for about like 6 years, man. I lived in San Leandro, man. And I go back to Oakland now.
Yeah.
For work once a month, and it's not the same, bro. I mean, I've had every time I've rented a car there, it's been broken in. My car got broken in valet.
Hey, they bip. Them youngsters, them YNs, they be out there bipping, man. They bipping.
Yeah.
I stay out of Oakland. I got love for it, but I stay out of Oakland, man. I stay where I'm from right now.
Well, let me ask you a question. What made it change? Was it because after Jerry Brown left? It's just,
you know what, man? That's one of them questions that's above my pay grade to answer.
Right.
I just know this. I grew up as a boy out in Oakland, but you know, in my teenage years, I went to the Central Valley. Mom's moved us up out of there, and then once I got in my 20s, then I settled down up in Antioch. So I've been in Antioch for the last 20-something years now.
See, I remember in Antioch, you can get a brand new house for like $200,000.
Man, you know, that's how I migrated out here, because my sister, she moved up here first, and she was just like, "Hey, little bro, you know, I might want to come back to the Bay, and right now is the time." And you know, I'm like, Antioch. She's like, "Yeah, come to Antioch." She's like, "It's by Pittsburgh." I'm like, "What, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?" I never knew there was a Pittsburgh, California.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Yeah, come on up here, get settled in, you know, until you get your own place." And then, you know, I moved up here. I never left. Been up in Antioch, like I said, 20-some years now.
Was your sister into Rotties too?
Not necessarily, suburban Oakland female. So she had the golden retriever, the lab, stuff like that. You know.
Cool. Did you go and click go live on your Instagram?
Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure the Instagram, it says yes, it is live right now. Yep.
So yeah, man, I want to say thanks for coming on to the show on this Saturday. It feels like a Sunday. I don't know.
It does, man.
Feels laid back.
It does. You know, I think we still full of that Thanksgiving meal, man. I think I still got a little bit of that itis right now. So,
man,
you know, I appreciate being on.
Yeah, ain't no problem. So, people, I wanted to bring to the show a guy who I'm going to consider a friend, because he has really came through and be very professional. You know, right now, nowadays, man, it's all about doing good business. Like none of that say I get it done or sure send me the money and you fall off the grid. And a part of this podcast was not only to talk about dogs, but it was also to educate and be informative and just not gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gatekeep. They don't want to tell you how something's done. They want to see you still in the crabs in the barrel. And I'm like, no, man, I'm 54. I said, we got to tell the young ones how to do it. And part of that is just, you know, the breeding thing. I won't call it a game because there's nothing funny about it. There's no game into it. This is a sort of, I would say, a lifestyle. It
is.
Because your whole life revolves around these dogs. It's like when you take your vacation, it's sitting around, what about my dogs? How my dogs going to get taken care of? You have to cut vacation short sometimes, or cut work short because I got to do this because of the dogs. Dogs almost come first, almost in most cases. And the podcast is really supposed to be like, put good resources out there. Show, Joe Rogan has a show. Of course, you know who he is. And he brings on Mr. Nobodies. And as soon as he on their show, they somebody.
Yeah.
They become famous. And if I could, what my boy did for me 13 years ago, his name is Zeke. He owns that channel on YouTube called Dogumentary TV.
Oh yeah. Love them videos.
Yeah, Zeke put me on 13 years ago, which made me internet famous with Adobe's.
Hmm.
So I think it's my duty to put everybody on with good intentions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't put none of that crazy shit up there, no dog fight, none of that politics shit. I
Yeah.
ain't got time for that. But I want to introduce a very good guest of mine. We're going to do a lot of business, and you guys struggle with the same thing that I did, which is guess what? Getting banners created, like the ones over there overseas that catch you guys' eyes and make you want to buy a puppy off that breeder that you know shit about. You never met this breeder, you didn't know anything about it, but guess what catches do? The banner. And today we're going to talk to a guy who can fill that gap in creating a digital banner. But there's caveats to that because, and you sent me the email, I'm going to show them what are acceptable and non-acceptable photos. I'm going to bring my guy on here. He's going to tell you who he is. His name is Richard Garner, AKA Rich. Rich, tell the people who you are, what breed you're breeding, and also how did you get into this digital flyer business?
What's up, people? What's up? What's up? A lot of people. The thing is, a lot of people they don't see me in front of the camera, but now this is their time to see me in front of the camera. A lot of my family friends, they know me as Richard. A lot of my dog friends, they just call me Rich. Coming out of Antioch, California, which is part of the Bay Area, the Yay area. So I'm just a guy here that loves art. I'm a guy here that loves dogs, specifically the Rottie breed,
Ooh,
and that's why I do it. When it boils down to it, I'm just a guy that just loves to see the beauty of things coming together and making that end product. So that's basically what I do.
let me ask you a question. How did you get started? Because somebody said, my guy, he told me today, I said,
Hmm.
man, he does great art, man. He said it probably takes him like 1 hour only. I said, I don't know about 1 hour. I said, but if you call a plumber out, a
Yeah.
licensed plumber, and you have a problem, and your plumber charge you $200, but he fixes your problem in 30 minutes, you're not paying for how long it took. You're paying for his expertise,
Yep.
right? When did you start doing the digital flyer?
Man, and I'm not, sometimes my wife tells me, I'm long-winded sometimes, but I'm not. So, well, okay. So it started back in 2018. You know what? 2 years prior to that, in 2016, we had bought our house. We had bought a dog, and I said, you know what? Eventually, I want to start my own breeding program. The first dog that I bought didn't pan out. Got another male, right, from a reputable breeder, and I said, okay, I got my male, I got my female, and I know 2 years, and 2 years of having them, you know, we're gonna breed them, after getting their test done and all that. But I said, okay, that artist deep down inside of me said, you know what, I got to start promoting my dogs, my own dogs. I got to start promoting myself because I said, okay, if I want to eventually start breeding these varieties, I got to get my name out there, right? So I started putting little banners together, and at that time, the term banner, that wasn't even in my vocabulary as far as putting that, associating that word with the dogs. So I start putting these banners together for my dogs when they were like puppies. And I'm like, I got my dogs, I was like, okay, be on the lookout. In 2020, we going live. My dogs were still puppies. I had like my dogs on meteorites coming down to the earth, flashy colors. And I'm like, okay, and I'm doing all this. And the funny thing is, Drew, I was doing it all on my cell phone. I had my little iPhone, man. I had my iPhone. Doing it all doing it all on my iPhone, making these banners, making banners. My dogs start, getting a little older, and I said, okay, if I'm serious about this, let me start attending these dog shows. So I went out to my first dog show, which was an AKC show. Took one of my females. She got best of opposite sex female, and I'm like, okay. Then I got that itch. And I said, okay, let me go to my next dog show. And it was a European Seeger style show, San Leandro, California. That's when I started meeting these big breeders, and these guys that really knew, you know, about the breed, on how to show, things like that. And I said, okay, this is something that's real cool. Kept making flyers for myself, promoting my own dogs, promote my own dogs. The guys that I met at the show, I said, you know what, man, you had a nice dog at the show. Let me make something up for you. Let me make a flyer for you, right? I started doing it for free. I
Mm.
started making these flyers for the guys that I met at the show, you know, um, making these flyers, just doing it out, doing it for free, just for basically the love of the artwork and also to promote the dogs. So that's pretty much how I got started, just making those first original flyers, just doing them for the guys that I met at the dog shows.
So when you do it from your cell phone, I'm showing people some of your artwork now.
Oh, yeah.
When you're doing these for these breeders,
Hmm.
how are you coming up with the concept or the color scheme, the transitioning of one dog to another where the shadow
Hmm.
goes into the other dog? How are you coming up with these concepts?
Great question. Great question. I'll just say this. Um, it pretty much the inspiration, it starts with the quality of the photo. To me, because I'm no judge, but I know what I like. I know what I like to see. And as far as being, the type of person that loves art, if the dog looks good on the photo, that's inspiration right there enough for me. That's what gets the juices boiling, bubbling. That just makes me want to just be like, you know what, man, that dog looked really good in that photo. I could create something based off just the photo, and that's where it stems from. It stems from just the beauty of the dog itself to put this together, to put this all together. And that,
Okay.
like I said, the inspiration comes from the quality of the photo.
That is key. That is key. Now, have there been clients that you refused
Oh
to
man,
do for because of they just take shit pictures? I mean, it just I'm
brother
like,
G, man, brother Gerald. Oh my God. You know what? I think I'll say this. There's a lot of guys that I've met, at these dog shows, and I've met a lot of guys online. Some of them, a lot of them that I've actually met in person, we've actually shook hands, and but most of them, it's through online social media communication. And there's a lot of guys that I've become friends with, acquaintances with, and there's a lot of guys that I think I've rubbed the wrong way over the last years because I said, man, I'm like, how do you expect me to create something based off this photo that you sent? And I think I rubbed a lot of dudes the wrong way. That's why a lot of dudes ain't fucking with me. Sometimes, excuse my language. I know, there's
yeah,
probably some kids watching, but I think I rubbed a few dudes the wrong way by rejecting because my mom's always said all money ain't good money. And in the beginning, it wasn't even about money. It's about the art, and it's still about the art. But still, I'm gonna I'm gonna accept the commission from my time. But it started out from the beauty of just being loving art. Shout out to my ancestors for giving me that beauty of the art. I'm passing that down to my kids. But just it started from the beauty of the art. But yeah, man, if somebody presents me with a nice quality photo, beautiful dog, dude, there's been times I made banners within 30 minutes. There's been times I made banners for dudes that had just won at a dog show and their banner was made before they even drove home. There's fun. That's facts. Because the dog, I seen the photo and I'm like, damn, I gotta put that on paper. But brother G, back to that original question. I've over the years I've received and rejected a lot of dog photos, and I know I sent you a few. And there's
yeah.
no
We're gonna
no
get into that.
specific people's names on it and nothing like that. But if you want quality, you got to send me quality. Give me a quality photo. I'm not looking at the type of dog or how the dog is bred or anything like that. I'm looking at the quality of the photo. Like if the lighting is right, if the dog is standing proper, if the dog is standing nice and like, correct, that's where the inspiration comes from. But if the dog is all like, all scrunched up, looking like a simp, if the photo's too dark or if the photo's blurry, man,
I'm
angles
looking at
too.
some of these photos now. You see them?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Those are the ones that's on the Instagram. Those are the ones that made the cut. Those are the ones that and there's a lot of breeders out there that do take pride in the quality of photo that they send me. That they'll say, Rich, hey man, you know, is this cool? Is this a good photo? And I'm like, goddamn well that's a good photo.
So
Because
let
there's that's I've built relationships, with other guys, other breeders, other dog enthusiasts based off just the photos themselves. And if they take the time to send me that quality photo, that's telling me that they're programmed. They're taking that time for that to have that quality program as well. So I've gained a lot of friends in the dog world, in the culture, based off me doing the artwork.
what's interesting is that, like, when I sent you photos, and I'm gonna show you guys what
Hmm.
he did for me already. When I sent you photos, they were done
Hmm.
by a photographer that came on the field.
Yeah.
I sent his ass out there to take these photos,
Hmm.
right? And I'm breeding with a woman right now with a Rottweiler, and we battled. Like, you got to send me some better photos.
Yeah.
The highlight can't be about my dog. It can't be about the male. I got to show the beauty of the female just as important as the male.
Hmm.
This is not the one you're doing for me. This is the
Yeah.
one I'm with the Rottweiler lady I just bred too. This female is the granddaughter of Dr. Timothy Tor.
Okay.
And so she's a nice looking female, but she's not showing her best angles.
Yeah.
And I come from an art background myself. Like, art was the class that I've always excelled in from elementary to junior high to high school, to the
Yeah.
point that I did my own interior decorating of my homes. I just know how to color scheme real good. I have these ideas like the
Hmm.
one I sent you. I said, hey, we're gonna do some movie theme flyers,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go retro. Like, nobody's thinking about this shit. I mean, I got training day right now. I
Yeah.
ain't seen you that. You
No.
know, and it's like, I'm not putting names out there, but it's like
Yeah.
you gotta take pride in your shit, man.
Yeah.
You gotta take pride in your work.
Hmm.
And you just can't throw some shit up and just like, okay, it's gonna sell. No, dude,
Hmm.
the first thing they see before they know who you are is what you present on the website.
Yes. Exactly. And if you don't mind, let me comment on that. I tell a guy, like, if you're gonna post your dog, if you're gonna I'll just say, if you're gonna advertise your dog or your breeding program or what you do, shouldn't you post something of quality? And I'm not even talking about just the quality of the dog, because that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about the art. I'm talking about the photo clarity. I'm talking about the contrast, the way the dog's standing. Don't send nothing with the dog all, like that. But if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna pay somebody to create something for you, why not have your dogs looking their best? And we know there's different, there's one Rottweiler, but we know there's the extreme side, and you have the side that follows the standard more. But I'm not even going to get into that. But I'm talking about the quality of the photo. If you're going to pay somebody like myself or somebody else that does these ads, shouldn't that dog's photo quality say something? Because, first impression is something. You post that up, somebody gonna look at that like, damn, why is that dog in the shadows? You can't even see the dog.
Yeah.
Why is that dog standing like that. You can't even see the dog. Does the dog have a deformity? Why are you, like I said, Gerald, like I've sent you some photos, which of course you have the approval to show the audience, but there's good and there's bad quality photos. And like I said in the beginning, I get the inspiration from the photos. Especially if you're paying somebody, if you're commissioning an artist to create something for you, why not give that artist something to work with? Don't
And
give
then
them some shit and say make magic.
right, and then remember, it's see, we as end users,
Yeah.
we don't know that the breeder is sending you shit photos. Therefore, you don't display those because it's a representation of your work.
Exactly. I tell them that. I tell them, I'm not only doing it for you, I'm doing it for myself. That's where the slogan came from. When you see the R, Rich did it.
Yeah, that's what one of these people. Let me put some of these comments in here, man. You got some
Okay.
big fans on here, bro. Watch this.
Let
It
me
says,
see.
you see that?
BDE, we all we
BDE, we
got. Oh
100.
shit. Okay. Here we
You
go.
got some fans, dog.
Let's
Listen,
go.
let's go. Hold on. Here's another one. It said BDE
Okay.
in the house. If you see the R,
There we go. Rich did it. You know
look
that?
at it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay
Yeah.
Robbins.
Okay.
Um,
That West Coast right there.
hey, yo, I need a pup. Hey, well,
Okay.
you got to help him out with that one.
For
And so,
sure. For
what's the next
sure.
litter? I need one. Hey. So, guys, if you guys talking about litters, go to his website right there. Go to bderottweilers.com. Send him a message, and he'll get you on the list when he let you know when the puppies are coming. We can expound on that in a minute. But yeah, go to his website. He's got an Instagram page. He's on Facebook too. As a matter of fact, we're going live, so check him out. Don't send him no goddamn friend requests. But yeah, so what I was saying. Oh, we got to get back to these comments. We gotta show the love. Watch this. Okay, how about this? How about here we go. There you go. Nice design, BDE. But you got a lot of women that love your shit, dog.
Hey man, I just do it for the love of the art, man. That's
Yeah.
it. Shout out to my wife. Gerald, I'm a shout out to my wife. Then this is why, like I said, I started off doing these banner ads on my cell phone on a phone app called like PixArt, right? I'm a I'm self-taught. My wife saw me doing all these ads on my phone and scrunching and pinching, and she's like, babe, you need like a big canvas. My wife went out, bought me a MacBook. Hey, MacBook. She said, babe,
That's almost a couple of G's, dog.
keep in mind, she's like, okay, babe, you're going back to school, you're going back to get your bachelor's degree, and I know you're doing the dog ads, you're doing that, but we got to set you up for success. My wife went out and got me that MacBook Pro, and I said, I'm like, babe, I don't even know how to use a MacBook Pro. She's like, but you got to get your designs, and plus you're going back to school, if you're gonna do this, do it right. So my wife went out, just like I said, shout out to my wife for just set me up with the tools to do it right, because she knew what I wanted to do. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna get you the equipment that you need. So some artists, they use like software like Photoshop, right? I don't use Photoshop. I use a whole different program. That's an equivalent of Photoshop. That does the same thing. And I've self-taught myself, and I'm still learning to do these ads, how to, because the style of art that I do is photo manipulation. And when I say photo manipulation, that's taking original pieces of photos and artwork, and you're blending everything together to make that final product. And when people hear, he's manipulating photos, that's one of the standards that I hold for myself, Gerald, is I'm not manipulating the photo of the photo of the dog. I'm not like making heads larger. I'm not making the chest bigger. I'm keeping the dogs how they was presented to me. Of course, I'm doing color correction as far as lighting, shading, stuff like that. That's minor. But I'm not out there making somebody's dog look like He-Man, manipulating photos like that. But yeah, man, it all reverts back to my wife for giving me the tools to really do what I love to do, man.
Good stuff. So here's another person, Bailey Jones, saying, "Yeah,
Bay
Bay
Area,
Area, stand up."
stand up. There we go. West Coast. Here we go.
BD, best in the business. You
Hmm.
got some fan. I didn't realize how many people who subscribe to me actually knew you.
Yeah.
Right, motherfucker, you out there?
Gerald, brother Gerald, man. Like I said, I started in 2018. 900 completed designs later. 900. The first 200 was from the cell phone, you know, but the rest getting up to 900. That's banners, birthday flyers, that's canopy designs. I started off doing logos, but logos wasn't really my niche. I like to keep it towards the breeding ads, the litter announcements, the stud banners, stuff like that. Because like I said, I do this in my spare time, man. I'm a father of four, finished up, late in the game, my bachelor's degree, 40 plus hour, 9 to 5 regular dude, that breed Rottweilers and go to the dog shows when I have time. I wish I had more time on my hand to really, participate in these dog shows. But hey, you got to number one have the time, and then sometimes dogs, females may be in heat, and I don't have a dog available to take. So,
Right.
but I will say this, we had 2 litters, and I'm not going to jump topics. Just had 2 litters this year. Kept a female from one of my litters back, and I believe she was born in June. Took her to her first 2 AKC shows, confirmation shows. And that girl scored first place twice. You
Wow.
know, she had a show last weekend, but I wasn't able to make that because I had to work. But man, but back to these
Look,
designs, man. I love what I do, man.
hey, check
I'm gonna
this out.
keep doing it until it ain't fun no
I'm
more.
gonna give you a lot of fucking business, and guys, hopefully you guys can have him to do your digital banner, either of your stud dog or your female or your litter of puppies. He can do it all. Michael
Yeah.
Gardner said, "Shout out to Mrs. BDE." And here's another great one right here. You probably know this person. It says,
Say this.
"Shout out to Jay Robinson, the BDE First Lady, rich wife,
Yep.
my sister."
Here we go. Here we go. That's right. That's right. My cousin. That's one of my cousins right there. He down there in LA.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yes, sir, Gerald. Yes, sir. Let me see here. Mrs. BDE, when she's the vision, supports the hustle. That's my mama. We love BDE. This your child?
Let me see. Yeah, that's my
Kayla?
daughter-in-law right there. Okay. Okay, that's my daughter-in-law. Okay, shout out to my
They
daughter-in-law too.
following you, dog.
Hey, it's all about family support. Family
Yeah, it is.
support.
It is.
Family support, man. And
So let's
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
brother.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, family support, but and also the people that put the trust in me to get their dogs on a canvas to really display them. That's trust. That takes trust for somebody to send you a photo and say, "Hey, Rich, make this ad for me." And most of the time, I'll say this, brother G, um, 99% of the time, it's me coming up with the idea for the layout. Of course, I'm gonna, most of the time I'll ask the person, hey, well, what theme, what message do you want to portray for your breeding program or whatever, with your dog, your stud dog that you're promoting. But most of the time they just say, hey, Rich, do your thing, bro. I trust you. Do your thing, work your magic. And I just go to work.
So, guys, he did a flyer for me. He's got a couple of flyers he's gonna be doing. I'm gonna send you that Dropbox link later on today. But guys, let me show you the one he did for me. Let me go right here. Here we go. Open this up. Share the screen. Look at that shit, man. Come on.
Fire. That's fire.
And
like my son say, that's fire.
that's fire. Yeah. Listen. Like my boy said on the LA Try guy, he's a food guy. He said, that's certified. Certified. I like everything about it, man. You got the transition of the dogs. You see separation right here. I mean, due early January, you got it all dialed in. You got both breeders listed here, showing love. Shout out to Lauderdale Kennel. I know you listening. You ain't gonna say nothing in the chat, but we know you're around. We know you ear hustling. You know, and but let's get to the photos that are suspect where you just say, I can't do this one. So guys, if you're gonna send them flyers, if the photos ain't popping, it ain't dropping. Right? So let's go.
You ain't gonna see the R on it.
Right. These are the samples that he's rejected that are like photos, dog stepping over the top of the head. Come on, man.
Can I comment like on this one?
Of course
right
you
here?
can.
Okay. From an artist perspective, and I'm not even talking about confirmation of the dog, but just the angle ain't right. Like the photo was taken from above the dog's head. The dog looked goofy. It's wet. It's a bad photo to be on like on a banner ad. You don't use that. If you're promoting this is your best product, your best breeding animal, why send me that? So yeah, that's why that one was rejected. Next. Oh, I ain't got no comment for that one.
You're trying to do a side profile, but then you looking forward. If you're gonna do a side profile, turn all the way to the fucking side.
Do something.
Look at that one.
Somebody
well, we know
actually
that's
said,
right,
Rich,
right?
Somebody said, work your magic. Work your magic. Do you? Why would I take that? That motherfucker right there is blurry as hell. Let alone it's bad. That photo.
Now, let's look at acceptable ones.
Okay. Acceptable. Okay. I got a fun fact about this one. So now the way the dog is standing, I love the way he's standing. Obviously, the dog, he's actually at a dog show, right? The moment I got that photo, the breeder or the handler, the owner was still at the dog show. It was at a dog show that I wasn't participating in. So I'm at home sitting down, I'm watching people post their stuff on Facebook. I'm like, damn, dog looking good. One of my boys that I do ads for. He didn't even request the banner. I just saw the photo. I went to work because I was so inspired. And the next photo is the finished product. Had the ad done before he even got home. Shout out to House of Rock for giving me the opportunity for that one. But yeah, that banner was done before that handler made it even home.
Damn.
I was inspired by the dog. Here's another one. Beautiful photo of a dog.
Is that a girl or boy?
That's a female.
Wow, she's
That's
nice.
A female. Shout out to nice Vonda Price. That's Vonda Price out in Pennsylvania. Nice female. That's Fancy, right? Her name's Fancy.
She's a nice looking female.
Nice angle, nice front angle. The photo clarity is there. Shout out to Mike Price. Always send me good photos too. Like when you zoom in and shit, the photo, it don't really break up and it doesn't get pixelated. And I said, okay, I can easily crop that one out. And then the next one is the finished product, the design. Okay. Boom.
Wow. Look at that.
It all starts with the photos. That's where the inspiration comes from.
That make me want to buy a dog from them.
Oh, right here.
That's a good photo right there. I love that angle.
Now, I think your next photo that's the finished product, but the original photo is next. Okay. So, the homeboy Saeed from Arizona sent me this one of his boy Gunner. And Saeed, he's one of the ones that is meticulous in making sure that if he's going to advertise something, it has to be of the highest quality. And even when it comes down to the photos. So Saeed, and that's how we built our relationship, that business relationship of sending quality photos. And that's what I did for his boy Gunner, just right there, And Saeed, he has a particular style and he knows my style. And he, he's pushed me to just make my stuff even better. This
Yeah, he
dog
does
right here.
everything he does is first class. I've noticed that about him.
Oh yeah, right
Everything.
here. This is this I believe that's a new brand dog right there. You know, I like the way he's standing, strong looking male, you know, just nice photo. And I said, you know what, I can do something with that. You know, good angle, good perspective. And then I said, okay, boom, knocked out that next one.
Wow.
That's the finished product. And with photo manipulation, you get all these source photos from different places like Adobe, stock photos, and you know, you search thing, you try to get these free photos, and then you blend all this stuff together, and you just make the. And like I said, I don't. A lot of people think I have like backgrounds saved of just pre-made backgrounds.
Templates,
This stuff, this yeah, templates. This stuff is all from scratch, brother G. This is all from scratch.
live breeding, fresh, chilled, and frozen semen. That's a nice looking dog, man. He got some
Yeah.
size too.
Oh yeah, really nice dog. Really nice.
So that's it right there.
I believe so.
Yeah, my thing is that let me got some more comments in here. Now look at this right here. Talk your shit, Rich.
Man, let me
Let
see.
me see
That's a
here.
MySpace. Somebody said that's a MySpace pose. I can see the comments too.
Oh, you can see him?
Yeah, yeah. I can see the comments. Somebody said that's a MySpace pose.
Huh.
I know exactly
Man,
who that is.
they want to know who sent them pictures that you're talking about. We can't do that one.
We ain't gonna do all that. We ain't gonna do all that.
Let me ask you a question. So okay, people, if you guys want to reach him again, always revert to him on Instagram. You can get him at BDE_Rich.
Mhm.
If you're interested in digital flyers and a puppy, you can go to his website, bderockwallers.com. He has a contact email down there. Listen, he ain't hard to get in touch with. Put it like that.
Nope.
All right. Let me see what other comments here. That's crazy. Yeah, it is. I know we have a certain price for a digital flyer.
Hmm.
Are there a set price like I'm quick to do this? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I need this in 3 days. Can you expedite mine? Is there an expedite fee?
You know what? Um, Honestly, not necessarily. But I take projects on first come first serve. It's all based off my personal time. Um, you know, I have a set fee, $50 basically. 50 bucks,
$50, man. Come on, that
50 bucks. That's for 4 photos. So most people they want like headshots, do 2 headshots, 2 full body shots. 50 bucks. That's 4 photos. I'll make your banner. Um, you know, and that's with like standard text, mom, pop, health tests, certifications, all that stuff. But then if a person wants to add extra photos after that, then the price will go up. You know, it's gonna go up. And I had disclosed all the pricing before I even accept the project. But before I even accept the project, brother G, it's not even about the money. I asked them what the photos look like first. If they can't get through the first step of the photos, I don't even take the project. Photos look good, then we go to step two. You know, I've implemented a policy to start collecting the money up front because
yeah,
back in the beginning, you know, there was a few breeders out there that took advantage. That I created the artwork, they posted the artwork. Obviously, they accepted it, and then didn't pay the artist. So then I had to implement the policy, pay up front. You know, I'm a nice dude, but don't take advantage of me. You know, so but I believe I'm fair. You know, market value. You know, good communication. I don't do a lot of talking on the phone. A lot of my communication for these ads is through text because, like I said, I'm a father of four. 9 to 5, regular dude. Got dogs of my own to take care of. Communicate. Let me know if you have an idea. Let me know. If you don't, I'll come up with the idea. I'll get your banner done. Um, but yeah, doing the ads has, helped, open up opportunities to other things within the art. I started doing t-shirts, merchandise, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
shout out to the team right here. You know, this shirt that I'm wearing, that's one. Like I said, I don't do logos no more, but this is one of my own. That's on my website. You know, y'all heard of Walmart? I got Roddy Mart. So my novelty shop that I'm
Yeah.
promoting. So it's all about the artwork, man. So at the end of the day.
Well, you know what? Let's do a little bit of pivoting.
Okay.
So we know that you're the number one guy, as far as I know, as far as I care, in the digital banners and digital flyers. You're going to be my number one guy going forward. I know what your standards are and what your expectations are. And you know me, I'll pay quick. I don't fuck around with nobody's money, because the clock is still running. When you haven't gotten paid, you say how much it is, boom, I send it. I don't play, right? Because what happens is when I start doing that, then you realize, okay, this Gerald's one client that's gonna pay up as soon as I send him the goddamn banner. I ain't gotta like send him a text message and hours later. Oh yeah, I got it. Thanks a lot. No, 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 no. Time is money. So, but with that being said, we know you have quality banners and digital art, and you put 110% effort. But let's talk about your dogs. So how long you been a Rottie breeder? Can you're on mute? Something you're on mute? I can't hear you. Nothing. Did that thing die? Nothing. Stay with us, guys. We got a little technical difficulty. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. What
Good.
happened?
Okay. I think I might have got excited and pressed the mute button on the computer.
All right, so
Sorry
let's get
about that.
into it. That's okay.
Okay.
So how long you
Okay.
been breeding Rotties?
So, like I was saying before I muted myself, got my first dog, Roddy, 2016, with the idea of wanting to breed dogs,
Who
that
does your
dog
banner for you?
that's me.
I'm messing with you, man.
Hey, when you see the R, Rich did it. The R is
There
on
you
there.
go.
So I got the first dog. The first male didn't work out, so I got a second male from a really nice, reputable breeder. Got another female. Shout out to James Marone. Got a female. We had our first litter in 2020, right when the pandemic hit. You know, um, got my male. Sent his test overseas. I had my first female, Sage. Sage got her testing through OFA and things like that. And we had our first litter in 2020, and then we had a little dry spell for a couple years, and then we had Mother Nature blessed us with two litters this year. Back in June and one in July. I mean June and August. So I'm done for the rest of the year, and we've already got requests for repeat breeding for next year.
Wow. When you're keeping a puppy out of your litter,
Hmm.
what are you looking for aesthetically and
So
the
okay.
intangibles as well?
So I'll just say, the phenotype first. I'm looking at a dog that, that's going to be stocky. I'm looking at the shorter back. I'm looking at, good bite. I'm looking at good temperament. You know, of course, I'm looking at markings on the dog. Because I don't choose a puppy. I don't choose a puppy till they're about 4 5 weeks old. Out of the litters that I've had personally, we've kept two. We've kept two. We kept a female, named her Sasha. Then we had another one most recently. We kept Majesty. Majesty is the one that just went to two AKC shows and got first place. At what 5 months old. So that's what I'm looking for. my male, he's getting up there, so it's time to retire him. We just retired a female this year. So I'm looking for my next male right now. If I'm not able to produce a male, from my stock, I may venture out to another breeder that has that's breeding what I like, to keep that bloodline within that same bloodline. And I've been in talks with a few breeders out there. There's some Westminster breeders I've been talking about with some dogs that I'm highly interested in that they got puppies on the ground now. So, there's a lot of different, tangibles that you look for, when selecting a puppy, especially from your own stock.
Oh my God, it's that's to me that is so. Because
That
I've
photo right
always
there, that's
yeah,
that's me and one of my youngest sons right there. We was at a Seeger show a few years ago. First place there.
nice. You're actually doing something with these dogs.
So, I try to, like I said, I participate in, I tell people I try to be that three-headed monster with doing the artwork, with showing dogs. And I don't go to dog shows all the time, but I do it when I can. And then also producing dogs too. So we're on generation 3 with our bloodline. And I know I
Man, I would
heard,
love to do business with you, man, as far as seeing what my boy produces. I mean,
hmm
I'm not trying to campaign for him because I haven't really been trying to campaign for him, but
hmm
I mean, he come from such good lines. I mean, his
yeah,
daddy is Puma von Wilden Weston. I'm a guy that I love dogs that work, but they got to look
yeah,
just as good as they work. His dad is
hmm
a IGP3 VH2, whatever it's called, and just
yeah,
Puma von Wilden Weston, and Claus is the owner, and he bred to a nice female out of Aquaforce. Shout out to Simone because I imported
hmm
him from her,
yeah,
and so man, it's just the problem I've seen with dogs now, not with the Rottie world, they still got that DNA world. Like, okay, I said this. I've owned a lot of Dobies, and some of them know how to guard the yard without me teaching them how to guard the yard. Rottweilers, man, they already know, bro. That DNA is
yeah,
in most of those. They know how to crank in without you saying, watch them. They already
yep,
know, like, don't come close to this gate. And they're
hmm
serious about it. And that is a lost art in the
yeah,
Doberman genotype.
yeah.
That's a lost art. And I shout out to all the Rottie breeders. You guys got that killer in them dogs, and people just don't know. So
There we go.
somebody up here, let me show you the comment.
Yeah.
Glossy XYT717 said, "You got any merch, Rich?"
Oh, yes,
So
we do. Yes, we
right
do. Roddy
there,
Mart. Roddy Mart. That's the
the
novelty
Rottie
shop.
Mart. Look at that. There you go. You
We
can
do a little
order.
something, something.
He's got
Yeah,
he's
you
got a, he's
shop
got a, he's
online.
got a Black Friday sale. Just go in there,
There we
put it in the
go.
shopping cart. You got to get me a
Oh
shirt.
yeah, definitely, definitely,
Oh, let
definitely.
me.
So, and this is just, stuff that I put together, mainly for like the puppy buyers and things like that, family, things like that. So, we just try to put something out there that we like, you
Yep,
know.
yep. Here's his other stuff right here. If you notice, he's all dialed in. You got
hmm
the
The king of the kennels. King of the
king of the
kennel right
kennels,
there.
king of the kennels.
That's a collaboration one that we did. We did with another breeder right there because we had bred our dogs. So that was a collaboration shirt right there. This one right here, I love that one. Yeah, Super Roddy Stud. I love
Wow.
that one. Parrot. I love that one. That one got that one features the logo on the front, and I believe it's on the back as well. Like like a team shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, come in different colors.
And
We just try to keep
this
it
the
simple.
favorite right here.
There we go. There we go. I love that one. Represent my town. That's where I'm from.
And here's another one. This is different.
Oh yeah. That one, another California highway background, the green and white. We near Highway 4 out here. If you're from the area, you know where Highway 4 goes.
Yeah. So Glossy, go to his website. His website is right here, and just put your order in. Put your
There you
order in,
go.
guys. Go to bderottweilers.com. Some
Oh
people
yeah,
say they already DMing you to do some flyers.
for sure. Much love. Appreciate it.
So
Much
let's get
love.
back to this. So
Yeah.
I'm I won't say I'm a Rottie breeder, right?
Hmm.
I got one dog,
Yeah.
one Rottie. That doesn't qualify me as a Rottie breeder, but I am learning more and more about this. Um, One of the dogs that people have been talking about that I kind of like what he used to do years ago versus what the
Hmm.
dogs look like now. What is your
Yeah.
view on the timid tour? You know the look.
Yeah. What I can say about that is, to each his own. Everybody has a preference. I'm more, and I've even had friends tell me that, Rich, you breed the standard. You breed the standard looking dog. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with breeding a Rottweiler within the standard. That's what I like. That's what I love. But there's no shade on the Timbertour brand from me. If a person decides to breed that, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But I know what I breed, and I'm more of that standard, part of the spectrum. We just keep it at that. A man's gonna do what a man wants to do.
So here's my take on this topic right here. It's
Hmm.
controversial. Tail or no tail? I like tails.
Oh man. Oh man, I might get some people mad at me. Coming from where I'm from, I was raised up in a teenager in the '90s. I'm a '70s baby. I know I look young, baby smooth, but I'll just say I'm still team docked right now. I'm still team docked.
I I'm 54, so
Hmm.
ain't too far from you. I know you what 59, 60. How old are you?
No, I'm not. No, man, come on, man. Don't do me like that, brother
I
G.
was
I'm
fucking with you.
47.
I was fucking with you. But I've I've learned
Yeah,
and grown. It's almost like I have a Rivian. I have a Rivian SUV, the electric one.
yeah,
And when
okay.
I first started seeing those cars, I was like, I don't like the headlights. And then all of a
Hmm.
sudden, I was like, it grew on me. Like, man, I
Yeah,
love those headlights on those Rivians. So I ended up buying an SUV when still got it. No
okay.
gas, all electric. So I say that it comes full circle with the dogs. I
Yeah.
grew up watching the Rotties with a tail dock.
Hmm.
But now to me, I love that tail, man. It's like
You know
it looks,
what? It's
especially
it's
not a super
growing.
curl tail, but just
Yeah,
yeah, but not no curl shape like this, but just
yeah.
you know,
That it just flows right. It's
yeah.
growing on me. I haven't done it myself. I do have two females that have full tails, that I got from another breeder, when I wanted to bring an outside bloodline to my program. But it's still growing on me. I'm not gonna say I dislike it, but it's I when you go to the AKC side of the dog shows and you look at the Rotties, you're still seeing more dock tails, and more of the docked tailed Rotties are getting the accolades, getting the first places and things. But there is a few tailed Rotties making waves up in the AKC show realm. But I still like the dock tail look. Um, but I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to having a natural tail. If I was gonna pick, like today, if you used to say, Richard, pick one right today. If you had only a choice for a tailed Rottie, I would probably have my male with a natural tail and my female docked if I had the choice. I don't know. Something about just that masculine Rottie male with the tail, just I don't know. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah. I with my boy Brutus, of course he has a
Hmm.
tail, but dude, he's so athletic that I think the tail really acts as a rudder for him. A cheetah
Yeah.
has a very thick tail. A
Hmm.
cheetah has probably one of the thickest tails per its body size and type. And
Yeah.
because the cheetah's making these fast lefts and rights, the tail
Yeah.
has to offset the balance, or the or the
Hmm.
or the, the cheetah would just flip over.
Makes sense.
And I love it, man. And I understand people now, like the Dobie, for instance, the Dobies, they got to have the dock tail for me to be in my camp. Now, the
Yeah.
people that I'm breeding to who are importing these grown females that you're making flies for,
Hmm.
they banned it cropping and docking in certain parts of Eastern Europe. So it's
Wow.
impossible. And what's the problem is, like, the Americans over here in general, not all, but some,
Hmm.
are so conditioned to seeing cropped ears and dock tail that they
Yeah.
don't look beyond that. They don't look beyond the beauty of the dock, the head structure,
Yeah.
the top line, the bottom line, the markings, the eye color. They just say, "Oh, a big ass coonhound." They don't see it, right?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because now I'm not gonna say it this way, but now it's like the dog has to outperform what she looks like. Like, there's got to be a
Hmm.
reason why you breed to that dog, because it ain't aesthetic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now the one you're gonna be doing with Drama King, the bitch was already dialed in for IGP-1
Hmm.
before Milan sold it to us, right?
Yeah.
She works, she's civil as hell, she's got defense. I got the whole routine on video, so nobody say, "How you know she can do this?" I got video,
You got proof.
proof. But people can't look beyond the tail being attached and the
Hmm.
unaltered ears. But I've seen
Yeah.
this bitch in person,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? It's kind of cool. Let me ask you this: have you imported from out of the overseas in the past couple years?
Nope. Never imported a dog. I've only gotten dogs here in the States.
How do you pick out the breeder to, like you said earlier that you got a dog to bring in something genotype wise different to your camp?
Hmm.
How do you determine which breeder you go to for that?
So that very first dog that I got in 2016, that's back when I really didn't even know too much. I seen a Craigslist ad of the guy selling puppies, $800 puppies, and I was like, damn, let me get a puppy. I just bought a house, I got a nice place, got a yard, I can provide for it, and I went, and I didn't know better, but I knew what the plan was. I wanted to eventually breed, but as I started learning about the breed and how to, the health testing and things like that, I said, okay, I can't breed this dog. So I never bred that first male that I had. Um, and I just kept doing research, found a breeder 40 miles away, that he's had a champion male within the AKC world. He's done really well in the Seeger shows. And I said, that's it. That's going to be my first male. Linked up with him, um, got a female from another reputable breeder, and then that's what I started with. Two really nice dogs.
Yeah, man, you got some big fans on here, bro. Andrea Hughes 7969. This man is a natural graphic artist. I don't care what you say. I would love to buy each shirt and item as mentioned. Charge me extra for shipping. I'm just bullshitting
Oh
when she
shit.
say that.
Well,
But yeah,
whoever that
no.
is, I really appreciate you. Thank you. But like I said, I try to just do this from the art perspective. I love what I do, and when it's not fun no more, I won't do it no more. I do this for the love of the art first, and then the being loving dogs and Rotties in general. That's just what makes it even more fun.
My man at GSP says team docked.
GSP.
He
Okay,
said,
I know the
yeah,
brother out there.
yeah, he said, I'm good either way. I'm good either way though, 100. He said, tails grew on me, but then I went back home. So it means tail dock.
There we go, GSP. There we go.
Let me see. I've seen the breeds and they are such beautiful and calm. That, you know what? Temperament, Rotties have a a majority that they have a balanced temperament.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not one or the other. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of the breeders that I know, like Pirate Bay, Paige Haas,
Hmm.
um, what's my other dude out there in Arkansas? Forte. I call him Rapping
Oh yeah.
Forte.
Oh yeah.
My boy
Anthony Forte. I know the brother,
Forte, he
young
gonna come
brother out
on in a
there.
couple of weeks.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Forte.
Forte, Dominique at Cedar Bluff. He
Hmm.
supplies all of Dog Pound, Daz Dillinger, his Rotties.
Hmm.
It's they breed for great quality pets. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
GSP's out there, ZRT Trey. There's a lot of cats, man. They breed for great pets, man. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I'm trying to buy from you, motherfucker, I need some working shit. Like I need to know if the shit's working. That's
Mm-hmm.
why when I buy dogs, the parents have to have working titles. But not everybody want to be like what I'm doing. I'm a stud guy.
Yeah.
All I got is males, right? So my boys have to be on another level because if I have boys that's on another level, geno and phenotype wise, and
Yeah.
documented proof like titles, which is like a college
Mm-hmm.
degree for my
Yeah.
dogs, and all of the health tests, then I could breed to just about anything that's standard breed. But if I don't know the blood test, if I don't know the DNA mixture, and I'm just breeding my fucking male, I may fuck up somebody's program.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why my shit always has to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
And last her swag, that part. And here's my man GSP. I agree. The males can get either way. They have the muscle build for it. Females look great without it. And as a breeder, it works better. And you know what? It's a good point because when you see a lot of people when they are picking puppies,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That they want it first and ask, can I see the picture of the male? See the picture of the male.
Always.
I'm like, wait a minute. The female is just as, or if not more important than the male.
Mm-hmm.
The female carries most of the mitochondrial DNA. The male typically just accentuates the litter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a female at home that is standard, it kind of gives it its an even kill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, not everything is tailed here. We got some crop.
Mm-hmm.
She looks good. Now I know what a Roddy looks with a tail docked. And
Mm-hmm.
it flows. It flows. It flows.
Definitely. Definitely. Like the two litters that we just had, like those puppies. So basically, based off what the mom looked like. You know, they didn't really care what the dad looked like. It was like, okay, yeah, they ass, but they was like, oh man, female, the mom, beautiful. I want a puppy from her, and that's what it's about.
Man, you know what though? The problem is that like I'm coaching a few breeders,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I have to keep emphasizing like, yo, the mama is way more important. I got Brody's son. I got access to
Yeah.
some hellified males. Fuck the male shit. We can get sperm shipped.
Yes.
The
True.
mama
That's true.
sets the tone.
Yeah.
All of the great breeders that you know overseas, or the good breeders, Aqua Force, what is the other one? Let's see. What's this? Aqua Force is another good breeder, but Wutan, Genix Wutan, all of these breeders, they don't have no fucking male.
Yeah.
All they got is
It's all female.
females. And when you're doing these flyers for breeders who are breeding outside their program, the male don't belong to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody else fucking male.
Yeah. I
So
get that all the time. They were like, oh man, Rich, I ain't got the photo of the man of the male. You know, you might have to wait. I'm like, what you mean I gotta wait? The male overseas. I'm like, what? Skip. I go on to the next person. Skip.
yeah. Man, I want to say, man, guys, if you guys want to follow him, get some digital flyers made. He's got a special going on right now, $50. And you got to get on it. And quality photos first. Don't get butthurt if he telling you these are no go. Get on your knees and take pictures eye level. 100%.
All about
100%.
perspective.
Right. If you guys want to order some banners, digital banners, and you do images on a higher pixel rate where it can be wrapped for vehicles,
Yeah,
make wrap.
yeah, I can do that. Yes, yeah. There's been a few projects I've done for breeders in the past that we've sent that off to like a print shop, and they've had their stuff either put on the back of their truck window, canopy, or whatnot, table, like a table display, tablecloth, or whatnot. So yeah, it is high quality work, but it starts with the source of the photo. If you send me a pixelated photo, there is no way you can have that printed to a larger scale because it's going to be pixelated. You know, don't get mad at the artist if you send me some bullshit ass photos. Send me some quality work. Shout out to Saeed, TRK, always sending me them quality photos. Um, you know, Vonda Price always, Proctor always sending me them quality photos. You know, there's a lot of guys I can shout out. I know we run it for time, but I do want to shout out Burnt Rottweilers. Cal Burnt. He was the first guy that gave me a chance for a paid commission. He paid for that first banner back in 2018, 2019. He paid for that first one, and it just took off. Took off from there. He paid for that first one. That was a $10, $5 to $10 job. Now they $50, $60. So shout out to
Shout
them.
out.
But yeah, man.
I want to say, man, I appreciate it, man. Guys, you can follow him on Instagram at BDE_Rich. You can go to his website. I don't know when you're going to have some litters, but he would definitely put you on a waiting list. Everything on his website says sold out.
I got one more thing, Brother G, before we go. One more thing. So when people come to me, they see they know the slogan. You know, when you see the R, you know Rich did it, right? But when you come to Black Diamond Excellence, which is on the hat, a lot of people they say, "Damn, what does that mean?" BDE, what does that mean? What did Denzel say in that movie? He said, "It's a brand name." BDE is a brand name.
Yeah.
Like Pepsi, it's a brand name.
It's a brand name.
I stand behind it. I guarantee it. It's a brand name.
I guarantee it. Hey, man, I
guarantee
appreciate
it.
you coming on, man. People, stay resilient, but be responsible. Until next time.